What a start to the House of the Dragon, episode one. Man, what an episode. What a way to start off the season, honestly. In this video, I'm going to talk about more of my thoughts and what I thought about the episode and things I liked and I didn't like. Not so much as a breakdown, more of just me giving my thoughts. Some of the things that I didn't like were that when we start the episode, we're kind of like not starting the battles because it felt like in the previous season finale, right? It felt like we ended off that season. We are gonna jump right to the battles. Right away, we're gonna see what was going on. We're gonna get into the action. And then when season 3 starts, it feels more of like we're still not there yet. We're still talking. For an example, like Daemon, who was in a battle, but we only see the end of that battle. We don't see what really happened in that battle, and those are some things that I kind of wish that we did see. You know, some of that stuff would have been cool to see, and especially with the Stark who brought the head of that one dude, the one twin brother, I forgot the name of, but him, I would have loved to see how did they get the head? How did they get that head? I would have loved to see that. But those are things that I wish that we did. But I mean, it's nice to like jump the episode and we get to hear everybody and hear what they have to say. Those are things I did like a lot. Something else I really liked was that the whole Aemon and Alicent, that whole dialogue with them two, and how Alicent coming back from talking with Rhaenyra, right? Even in the last season, she basically just said, yeah, you can take King's Landing, you can kill Aegon, that's cool with me. Which is crazy that she was just so, like, she was so quick with coming to that. And then obviously Rhaenyra is gonna go and say yes to that. I mean, who wouldn't? I mean, I would if I was her. Her coming back to King's Landing, you see Aemon on that Iron Throne with that long sword. I don't know what sword that was, but it's one of the Valyrian steel swords. But you see them two talking. I love the dialogue. He's just basically, to me in that scene, it just felt like he was just a whiny kid. It was like, hey, why wasn't I in the loop? Why am I not told of these things, you know? So something else I also did like with them too was that one scene that they're in the room and Alicent is pretty much trying to tell Aemon that, hey, I need you to go to Harrenhal. You need to go there, right? She's trying to like really be a motherly figure. Finally, right? She's trying to finally be a motherly figure to him, give him motherly advice. Say, hey, I need you to go there because of this and third, and all that stuff was great. All that stuff I loved, and it really showed that Aemon is scared, and we even hear it the scene prior that Helaena telling Alicent that Aemon is scared. He is scared of Rhaenyra and her dragons and what's to come. You know, when she comes into King's Landing, with Alicent finally telling Aemon, "You need to leave. You need to get out." First, he's reluctant of it, but then he's like, "Okay." And then there's the scene where he leans in and he gives her a smoochy smooch, which is crazy. I mean, like, that threw me off, and I don't feel like I didn't really personally is in love with his mom. I think it's more of an affection, like, you know, when you hug your mom or you kiss your mom on the cheek, it's more of like an affection. That's how he showed his affection, because Alicent really hasn't been a good mom to the three of her kids, right? And the other kid is over there in the Hightower, fourth one, Daron. So I feel like the season 1 and 2, Alicent wasn't really a good mom, and then when she's finally acting like a motherly figure to Aemon, you know, he kind of like shows her, okay, I love you in his own way, which also ties back to him in that Warner room with that lady where he was like butt naked, right? Just kind of like getting cradled by this lady, and that it really ties back in that it was just planting the seeds, right, for Aemon to do this and whatever he does. But that I really did like, and that I really enjoyed, because it shows that Aemon's finally getting that type of love, right? Even though she's manipulating him because she wants him out because Rhaenyra's gonna come to King's Landing, I still did enjoy that. And he just kissed her, and I think it was like his own way of showing her that he loved her, I guess. That's how I take it as. Now moving on to Team Black. Okay, so now we're moving on to Team Black. So some of the things that I really enjoyed with Team Black were definitely the Jace and Rhaenyra, how Jace really wants to go this battle of the gullet. He really wants to be in there. He really wants to do it. He wants to show like, hey, like I can pretty much make you proud. That's how I took it as, like I can make you proud, and how he wants to do something. He wants to be involved and he wants to do something because he hasn't really gotten a chance really in any battle to really be involved, especially because his little brother died the way he died, and his mom is obviously cautious of what's going on. So he even traps Rhaenyra in the room. What does he do? Jace goes and takes Baela with her, and Baela's like, I mean, I guess if we're gonna do it, we're gonna do it. And then they go off, and then the Battle of the Gullet, which I really enjoyed. Right, I feel like when we ended off season 2, I thought when this season, especially the first episode, we are gonna start riding the battle. We're gonna see everything. It took us a minute to get there, right? It took us like maybe like 20 to 30 minutes to finally get to this point to even see the Battle of the Gullet. But when we're in it, and that's something that I did enjoy. I love that Jace and Baela are in there. They're flying with their dragons, and on top of that, little do you know who's coming out of nowhere. Rhaena is coming with her dragon, Sheep Stealer, and she's coming. She doesn't even know how to control it, right? We see her in the beginning of the episode 2, and she's basically the whole thing in season 2, right? Especially near the end of season 2. I'm pretty sure it was that she was just finding her dragon. She was going out trying to find that dragon, and she finally gets that dragon, which we see her coming in, swooping in the Battle of the Gullet, right? I'm pretty sure it's before Jace and Baela comes, but either way, she comes and she doesn't know how to control it. To the point where the dragon himself is destroying Team Black's ships, right? You see it in one scene, and that's just like, why even go to the battle? I'm like, why is she even going to the battle? Anyway, then pretty much, some could argue that she's the reason why Jace died, right? I'm gonna talk about that in a minute, but anyway, Baela leaves at some point in the battle. We also see Cloris Valerian and his son, right? They're getting ready for this war because this Viking lady with that one twin brother I was talking about earlier, both of them are going out. They're going to fight this battle. And the Viking lady's like, you know what? That guy over there, I'm gonna fight him. Because I guess he killed her people, I'm pretty sure. So anyways, she goes chasing after Cloris. But doesn't help. No, doesn't worry. They go through this narrow sea part, makes it over, and her ship is a lot more smaller, so it's quicker. And then Cloris's his ship is more bigger. So they go, they fight. She crashes in. They're fighting, and she basically gets KO'd by Cloris's son, right, bastard son. I thought it was cool, but honestly, I didn't really care too much about the Viking lady. She was cool. Pack her bags, because she's out. Anyway, in the meantime, Jace gets hit by like an arrow, and the arrow is attached to this rope that has a big weight bag. We see his dragon going down. Vermax is slowly going down and down and down. And Baela's trying to swoop under to cut the rope, but he's too low. And then he goes lower and lower and lower. And then he basically has like a harness thing attached to his dragon. So he takes it off and he's like swimming up. Jace is swimming up. Poor Jace, man. Oh. He turns around and he's getting shot with arrows, and RIP Jace. The GOAT, another Black Targaryen, has passed away. I don't know what Rhaenyra is going to think of this in the next episode, but man, what a punch to the gut. And that's pretty much what happens, where Jace ends up. His story ends dead. He's dead. The GOAT has died. And it's kind of sad that he died like this, because this is his first time actually going into a battle, right? And he went to the battle. Rhaenyra was saying, no, don't go. I don't want you to go. And he still goes anyway, because he's young, because he wants to show that he can do this. And so he goes off and he dies. What's going to happen in the next episode, I don't really know. I also have never read the books, the Fire and Blood book. This was House of the Dragon episode 1. These were my thoughts. The episode was good. It started off pretty slow in my opinion. I feel like it could have picked it up more. I feel like it could have went more quicker, especially because the way we ended in season 2, we end with like a cliffhanger for like, okay, we're gonna fight, we're gonna battle, and we just kind of end like that. Those are my thoughts. I know there's certain stuff that I didn't touch upon on this video, but like I said, a lot of these videos coming up are gonna just be more of my thoughts and what I feel like. I would love to see how Daemon, how that fight happened, how even that one twin brother got his head chopped off, right? These are things that I wish that we saw, and maybe we didn't say because of budget, but I don't know, man. It really sucks that we didn't get to see it. Thank you guys for watching. Please like and subscribe. I'm gonna be talking about films, games, shows, anything that I find interesting. I'm gonna give my thoughts. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching.